All right, welcome back. There's this channel. Okay, I've been seeing them lately, seeing their stuff float around my feed, and then some. What was it last week? Natu sent me a video. I watched like a whole episode, so I've been seeing quite a lot of their stuff. I just watched this episode, and I found like a clip that really aligns with a lot of things that I believe in. Like two clips. I posted it into the group earlier. I don't know if you saw it, but I thought I'd do a little bit of deliberation about what they were talking about, and then spell it out a little bit more, then had some context for tonight's show. The channel is called Hardly Initiated Good Conversations, a podcast. Okay, so you can check them out. But let me play this clip really quickly.
So,
is there a practice course or something you can take before or something?
Well, see, here's the thing. This is the crazy part.
All right, before they go, right? Unless, wait, what's going on? Can you guys still see me? I guess. Let me see here. Can you all see me? Let me know if you can still see me. I think we look good. I don't know what's going on. Okay. All right, good. Oh, we're good. Okay. I was looking, my monitor ceased for a second. All right, good. So, let me ask you a trick question, right? What's the best way to prepare for marriage? It's a trick question, but try your best. What is the best way to prepare for a marriage? Thank you. What is the best way to prepare for a marriage in your opinion? For marriage in general, what's the best way to prepare for marriage? Before I play this small clip, some of you probably saw it already, but if you saw it already, answer the question. That's fine. What's the best way to prepare for marriage? Life would not to say no best way. That tells me that you didn't pay attention to this part, but don't worry, I'll remind you. Maybe you didn't see the episode yet. Not to. Oh, okay. She said the marriage itself. Okay, all right. It's the marriage itself. I don't think Kathy said I don't think there's any way. Okay, that's another way of saying the same thing essentially, right? Nati says the marriage itself, right? I guess learning from people who is married, even that one gonna serve a lot of time because people will cast on you. What worked for them that might not necessarily work for you. Yeah, even that one ends up in Porta sometimes. Have you ever had married people actually encourage you to stay in abusive marriages? They exist, right? They exist. So even that one too, you know. Touch not my anointing says no template, just know whom you are marrying. That one is definitely wrong. I'll tell you what, this is the way. Let me play it right now.
Well, see, here's the thing. This is the crazy part. There's only one thing that prepares you for being married. Want to know what it is?
Let me think about that. The one thing that prepares you for being married. Is it your spiritual discipline? Is it
it's spiritual discipline?
Marriage.
Yeah, right.
Damn, I was about to say something crazy. Yeah, that was a good one.
What is it?
Marriage.
Damn.
The only thing that prepares you for marriage is marriage itself. I think if you say I don't think there's any way, maybe we can argue that that's the same thing, right? It's the experience. It's the experience. It's it's one day at a time, right? It's one day at a time. When people say self-discovery, and they've never had any experience, like there's no self-discovery outside of experience. You need to put yourself out there. Yes, you need to take the risk. Yes, you need to put yourself in harm's way. Okay, that's just like life itself. The only way to be prepared for life is to be a human being. Same thing. Okay, all right. Now, I wouldn't say there's no template. That's something that a lot of people are telling themselves to disengage from the possibility that there might be something I don't know, right? There are things we all don't know, okay? So there are templates. There are particularly templates. There is no formula that works for everyone that you can copy and paste on everyone. That one doesn't exist. But templates, some kind of grid, something like a guide, some principles. When you've interviewed people that have lasted long enough, you will find something that tend to be common to all of them. Okay, compromise, like check your pride, manage your expectations, right? That's 3 already, right? I'll even bet you that when you say there's no template, becomes a template by itself. Indirectly becomes a template just by saying that, right? Because I know what you mean. Probably, hey, figure that person. Like, for example, you just said just knowing whom you're marrying, that would, like, right there become our template. What about get to know them on an ongoing basis? Okay, so they said it that way. They said, well, marriage, okay, I always say people that say I do, they don't know what they're doing. It is what it is. Get in it, become a lifelong student of this game that you're playing, right? Get to know that person on an ongoing basis. Really, really key, right? Does that mean you should put blindfold on and just run into it? No, that's not what I'm saying. Please, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, what I'm saying is that you need to be aware that it's on the job learning. Okay, shout out to FickNet for that $20 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You know what time it is. Before we go into the next, I have another clip from them. Okay, but before that, let's do this. Yay! Thank you so much for that, FickNet. I appreciate you. So let me play this one. It's another. I don't even remember what it was, but let's play it.
If you just treated me like you treated the boys, we wouldn't even have half the problems that we have. You know what I would say? You a grown ass man. I ain't gonna treat you like you not no kid, but he is. You're a kid. You're a kid in a grown man's body. What?
You're a kid in a grown man's body. Okay, I'll tell you more about that.
As a little boy from your mothers, that's what you want from your women. You want your woman to look at you and be like, that's my man. When I looked at my 2 sons.
Yes, you shouldn't be obsessed with seeking validation from other people. Yes, you should be able to create your own happiness, but let's stop the cap. Okay? All right.
Stop the cap.
The person that you're sleeping with is absolutely capable of tampering with your happiness. Absolutely. Making it better or actually decreasing it. Not just her or him or her. External factors can absolutely affect your happiness. The biggest variable, yes, is you and the way you see the world, the way you move. I agree with that. But there are other factors. External factors, the person you're having sex with from a nuptial standpoint, okay? They have the power to do that, okay? So yes, when you treat him like a kid, like that you care, some kind of, it does something to him, and vice versa, right?
To look at you and be like, that's my man. When I looked at my 2 sons, look at my boy.
That even made him laugh. He might say, no, Ola, stop the cat. No, that made him laugh. It feels good when your woman is able to say, that's my man. If you know that as a lady, why wouldn't you want to use that? Why do some people have love language, word of affirmation? That's actually my number 1. I thought it was physical touch until we did the assessment. My number 1 is words of affirmation. So maybe that's why I'm able to relate. Okay, but everyone has, to some extent, words of affirmation as a love language. It feels good. It makes them want to do more, right?
Oh, you mommy's babies. You know what I'm saying? You want your woman to look at you like, ain't nobody going to violate this because he got my back. My boys, touch them. It's going to be a problem.
You mess with that.
So he used to complain, if you remember this part, right?
You know what I would say? You a grown ass man. You just treated me like you treated the boys. We wouldn't even have half the problem.
If you just treated me like you treated the boys, the little, I guess their children, we wouldn't have half of the problem. Okay? He was basically whining, complaining, and saying, treat me a little better. Treat me a little better. Like, treat me just like, even just halfway how you treat your children, right? Is this a real problem in marriages? Yes. Is it the woman trying to be wicked? No. It's just the way it is. That's the mother thing, right? They take care of their children. Once they have children, a couple of them running around, they zone in on the children. And you fall into the back. Take care of yourself. You're a grown ass man. I keep telling you, on all sides, people lack game. But if you know that this is a void, right? And you could just take an extra step in your self-awareness and say, that's a void, a very common void, I might add. Right? Hey baby, I love you. I love you. A little extra, I love you. Every other day, every other week. The more scarce it is, tends to be the better it is, actually. It's just you have to remember. If you do it every day, it gets watered down. So it's not even about doing it every day. That's not what we're asking you to do. Just once in a while, you throw that in there, right there. Like, right? He becomes soft. He becomes a child because it's like his mama saying, I love you all over again. That's real. And vice versa, of course, the same thing with your lady. We tend to start treating the woman with complacency. She's not going anywhere anyway, right? People do that in marriages in general, right? Anything that's readily available, you take it for granted. So this is key, very key.
That we have. You know what I would say? You a grown ass man. I ain't gonna treat.
So this defeats the point, okay? I mean, to get to a lot of men running around calling women children. Sorry, you're also a child. She should be an adult. Bro, you all become children once you get into romantic relationships. You have this needy behavior that you need to be aware of and you need to manage it, okay? There's a need of some type of validation because, that's why you're doing life with them, right? Now, neediness will kill attraction if it's too much, okay? It's just kill attraction. But if the other side is also aware that there's a need, right? There's all these little spotty voids all over the place. You just feel it with just being a little bit extra aware sometimes. Just a little extra awareness, right? Of these things being a thing. Then you can feel them every now and then. So actually everyone become children in the relationship because they get caught up in their emotions, right? Why can't she just be an adult? Though the question is that, why are you as an adult man asking your woman to be an adult? Did you not marry an adult? I mean, what are you talking about? Because she's caught up in her emotions for a moment? Which one are you talking about? So you run around calling her names, manipulative, children, all this kind of stuff. You're not helping matters. You're being offensive and you will basically multiply what you focus on. Okay? We all become children. Men do it too. She just confirmed that. You've had those moments, if you've ever been married, where you just want to be loved a little bit extra too. It might be completely unspoken. It might just be a moment. It might just be a moment where you're just moody for no reason, right? All those little moments, you weren't being an adult either. Again, it's just about being aware. We're not going to change that. We're all human beings. It's just the way we operate. But when you are aware, you're able to leverage these opportunities. These are opportunities. You're able to leverage them to give to your partner. Okay? Speaking of, now that takes us to today's topic. Before we go into today's topic, Touch Not My Anointing says, how do you have an experience in something you have just getting into? No, you're having the experience. It's like asking a baby, how do you have a human experience? They start having it right there. The same analogy, right? If a baby is born, they start having the human experience and they gain more and more of it until they are deleted. Okay? That's how. You might be realizing what you got into in a divorce court. No. We're not saying not prepare. We're not saying not to prepare. We're saying be prepared. Particularly make sure you're preparing for conflict handling. Conflict resolution is really what you should be preparing for because honestly, you don't know what you're preparing for. You just don't. Okay? There's one thing to read all of the books and go through all the seminars, which I do encourage to go to help you mitigate. But there's another thing to be in it and like, wait, I didn't know it was like this, right? Go and ask everybody that has been married. They tell you exactly what we're talking about. Just go ask all of them, okay? Just ask a few people. If 8 out of them are telling you like, listen, it's the best experience, but we're not exactly prepared, okay, then maybe we should pay attention to that, right? Nice one. All right, so with that being said, I want to touch on what Mrs. Mildred Okonkwo said, which is quite profound, I think. And yeah, I'll be right back.